This is Collected Clan, Episode 20.
I honestly believe what you're doing is changing lives. And I think that you're touching people that you'll have no clue that you've touched. I really believe that.
Welcome to Collected Clan, the podcast featuring conversational biographies of relatable people with real stories of triumph and tragedy, plus successes and setbacks. I'm your host, Gregory Byerline. People often come and go, but these people are the company you keep. Everyday people making their mark. In the previous episode, I visited with Stephen Tedeschi, my longtime dramatic friend who was all about positively impacting those around him. As a bonus segment at the end, after the Tedeschi family reading of the Christmas story, my friend Terry Peterson read the Magnificat of Mother Mary in Hebrew. And to my knowledge, after some research, this is the only recording of the Magnificat in Hebrew read by a young woman. So be sure to check out that episode number 19. In this episode, I'm flying solo because I have some interesting things to share as a wrap-up to Season 1. We're approaching the 1-year anniversary of recording the first Collected Clan episode, and it's been an exciting year introducing you to some of the outstanding people in my world that I've collected along the way. Collected not as objects, but as treasures from the journey. In each conversation, I learned something new about these people I've known for years, and some of them for what seems like a lifetime. But even so, I learned something new. That right there is the power of conversation. If you haven't heard all of them, I encourage you to treat yourself to hearing these episodes. All are available at collectedclan.com or anywhere you get your podcasts, even right here where you're listening now. Many more ideas on tap for Season 2. But before then, we're going to take a short break so I can retool my production process for the show. What started as a simple earbud mic plugged into a headphone jack on my computer, with no knowledge of or regard for sound quality, which is pretty much the first 7 episodes, that progressed a bit mid-season when a fellow podcaster gifted a mic upgrade which I used for the remaining episodes. I also started recording into 2 voice tracks, which was supposed to streamline the editing process. But learning that new skill extended the editing process time required with my current software. I'm grateful for these changes that are all in the name of improvement and delivering you a quality show. After this memorable year, I want to continue improving and upgrading so that an even better show is made for you to enjoy. And I need to become more familiar with my newest equipment and the new-to-me software. So this is what I'll be doing during the season break. My objective for Season 2 is to return to a bi-weekly release schedule so I can bring you twice as many audio portraits of outstanding people in my world. And this new production approach should help make that happen. Just need to spend some time learning the new system, recording the episodes, which would be ideally done in person for an even more personal and intimate conversation, and refining this whole process. Until then, let's wrap up Season 1 with a few things I have for you. First, some listener feedback I received on LinkedIn. This is from Lyle. I've been following your podcast, and I'm a total fan of the stories you help tell. A mentor of mine who is a New York Times best-selling author said he read 3,000 books before he wrote his first one. Well, I'm not as disciplined as he is, but my goal was to listen to 300 podcasts before I launched mine. Collected Clan was one of them. I was looking for a bunch of different podcasts, but storytelling was at the top. I quickly discovered that some of the art of storytelling was having a story to tell, and Collected Clan is a collection of people telling their story. I was in at that point. That's so great to hear, Lyle. Thank you very much. It's so great to hear that these conversational biographies are connecting people and connecting with people. That's what it's all about. I also want to take a moment to talk about the photograph for the show cover art. There's an interesting story here that depicts something key to this podcast, and you should know that story. The photo shows a row of Bradford pear trees that I photographed nearly 15 years ago. I saw them first on a sunny spring day driving through the countryside. Even though the entire landscape was bathed in sunlight, the white blossoms called attention to themselves like Bradford pear trees do in spring when blossoms are full. Then I saw them at night, and instantly made plans to return the following night with my camera gear. These Bradford pear trees called to me on a visceral level and poetic level, the way the white blossoms reflected the light around them and helped them stand out in the darkness. I was immediately attracted to that light, and it was also interesting to see where they were standing shoulder to shoulder, side by side. They were the same, yet they were different. Each one had a different shape, each one had a different size, each one swayed in the wind differently, and yet they were the same. They were unified. They were shoulder to shoulder. They were there for each other, simply being what they were made to be. And I think there's a lot we can take away from that, as we too are the same as those around us. Even though we struggle with different things and experience struggles in different ways and experience life in different ways, we're still the same. Cut through the clutter, cut through the color, cut through what divides us, and deep inside, we really are alike in more ways than what might appear. There's a unity in us. We just need to dig deep and find it. And that, too, is what this show is all about. Since the 2015 lead-up to 2016's general election, American society hit a crossroads as we grappled with international propaganda, fake news, and the ease of sharing topics on social media after reading only the clickbait headline. Even today, we tend to talk at people instead of with people. I dare you to read the comment section on a viral post. Well, actually, I don't recommend that unless you want to experience the underbelly of society, or what a friend recently described as, quote, the reason God flooded the earth, end quote. And we too commonly stay connected, that's connected in air quotes, behind our screens. It was high time we started talking about our lives and life's ups and downs and all arounds. And in the process, we learned that even in our differences, we have a lot more in common. So that's why I chose this photograph of Bradford pear trees to represent this podcast. And to continue our mission of sharing a nonprofit spotlight selected by our guest, I want to share one that it continues to do amazing work, from my perspective. End Slavery Tennessee provides comprehensive aftercare for human trafficking survivors, many of whom are minors, children and teenagers, who were sexually exploited throughout Tennessee. Every month in Tennessee, 94 minors are used for sex trafficking. Minors. 94. Let that sink in. And beyond sex trafficking, there's labor trafficking where goods and services are continually produced without compensating the laborer. The mission of End Slavery Tennessee is to promote healing of human trafficking survivors and strategically confront slavery in the volunteer state. Slavery seems like a rather harsh word. Didn't slavery end after the Civil War? Well, not exactly. In fact, there are more slaves now than at any time in history. As I've tried to emphasize on this podcast, people have value. A value that is worth far more than a monetary value that a trafficker says someone is worth, or that the marketplace for human trafficking is willing to pay. As a father, I want to see the world become a better place so my children, so your children too, so our daughters and sons can live a memorable life, enjoying all that is good, beautiful, and true. There's a broken segment of society that wants the total opposite, and End Slavery Tennessee has rallied to make positive changes through local and statewide law enforcement, policy changes, and caring resources for survivors. To learn more about End Slavery Tennessee, go to endslaverytn.org. Watch the Voices of Freedom video on the homepage. If you're in the Nashville area on February 1st, 2019, you can hear real stories of survivors at the End Slavery Monologues event. Click the link in the show notes for ticket info. It's been an exciting first season. Thank you for listening and getting to know some of the amazing people I've collected along the way so far. It's been a treat sharing their stories and nonprofit spotlights with you. Here are some ways to stay connected to the show. Like and follow the Collected Clan podcast on Facebook. Follow Collected Clan on Instagram and Twitter. Support the show for as little as $5 a month through our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/collectedclan. That's patreon.com/collectedclan. To gain exclusive supporter benefits, including bonus episodes, deleted scenes, and more. And finally, sign up for our email list to be the first to know about new episodes and announcements. To sign up, visit collectedclan.com/contact, scroll to the bottom, and join the email list. When you do, you'll receive free access to a bonus episode of the entire Ode to Joy poem that was partially read in episode 18. All of these links are clickable in the show notes that accompany this episode. Simply tap in the app. So there you have it, our Season 1 wrap-up. And I'd love to hear from you. What did you love about this show? Drop us a note to collectedclan@gmail.com or voice message at 615-592-5017. Your thoughts and feedback are always welcome. Like this one from Bob, who heard Tiffany Montero's adoption story in episode 14.
I honestly believe what you're doing is changing lives. And I think that you're touching people that you'll have no clue that you've touched. I really believe that. Because hearing that conversation, I don't think anybody really knows how common that really is.
As always, a big shout out to my friends Worldwide Groove Corporation for this episode's original music. The song is Mimosa from their album Chilladisiac Lounge Volume 1. Check out more of their music at worldwidegroovecorporation.com. Thank you again for listening. Now go be you.